Hey, I had the coolest thing happen today. Somebody responded to one of my videos. And I mean, that right there is pretty cool. I get thank yous and stuff like that. But this person actually came back with a question, and I just loved it. It was about one of my artificial intelligence videos where I actually made the comment that what we have today, January of 2025, is not really artificial intelligence. It's not really AI. We're using that term a lot, but in reality, a lot of what we have is just machine learning. And they came back and they said, well, the A in AI is artificial. So what's the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? And I was like, wow, that is a great question. That is an intelligent question. And that may be a little bit of a spoiler for the answer to my thing here. The bottom line is right now, machine learning, you can see that I just had my Roomba running around the room here, and it learned a routine and it learned its environment. And it's able to go ahead and clean my carpets in this house pretty nicely. Sometimes, like today, it got caught up in this one room, in this room for like an hour. And I'm like watching it clean the same piece of carpet for about the fifth time over. It has no intelligence that makes it say, ooh, I need to move on to the next room. It's just executing the routines. And it executes a routine that's been taught to it by a human. And it can't, I can't take it and put it in my shower and say, okay, now clean the shower. It's going to clean the floor in the shower, but it's never going to go up the walls. It's never going to show a level of intelligence that it says, okay, let me see, let me adapt this. How do I clean the shower? It's never going to ask how. And that is what it comes down to, the difference between artificial intelligence and just these machines that we have, what they're doing right now, is that they can't ask a question. They're great at answering questions. I read somewhere that you do a Google search now, and you ask it any question, and you get a million answers back, a million responses, different websites. In that the cost of you asking a question to Google these days, and the cost of the responses you get is like 0.0000000000014 cents. I mean, it is the cost of an answer is just almost nothing these days. The most valuable things in this world these days, the things that are most important, are the questions. And nowhere in any of these, Gemini or Siri or ChatGPT or OpenAI or DeepSeek, none of these come back to you and say, hey, I thought of this. Wouldn't it be better? Or do you think it would be better if we tried it this way? They don't tell you that. They answer the questions that you ask. And that's where the difference is between, AI and machine learning, or AI and whatever we're utilizing today, what we're calling AI today. It's not, and some people will point out, they'll go, oh, well, you're talking about generalized intelligence, artificial generalized intelligence. And yes, that is. That's what I'm talking about. And people are now, right now, making jumps. People that are well informed and knowledgeable are making these jumps. They're saying, oh, yeah, we're going to have that general artificial intelligence, artificial general, AGI, in no time. It'll be here. No, it's not. I don't think it's going to be here in my lifetime, and we may never achieve that because it is so fundamentally different from just learning a routine or having a vast amount of information in a database, uh, in searching that and then returning an answer. Two things. Number one, somebody once said, a million monkeys with a million typewriters in an unlimited amount of time will eventually produce War and Peace. Yeah, that doesn't mean they understand the heart of what they produced. It's really just a, brute force level of creation. Eventually, it'll create what it needs. And that's really where we are now. It's not necessarily a brute force. We're now actually utilizing really good algorithms, and we have massive amounts of data. And between the data and the algorithms and then the anthropomorphizing of the answers, we're calling that artificial intelligence. But it's not the answers that make something intelligent. It is the questions. Comes back to my first comment. I loved that question because it was intelligent. And I'll end with this. There was a guy who lived, he was born 125 years ago. His name's William Edward Demings. And every single AI developer should have this little, phrase tattooed on their foreheads and make it in reverse so that when they look in the mirror, they can read it. And his quote that he said, close to 100 years ago was that if you do not ask, excuse me, let me start that over. And I knew I was going to botch that part. Okay. If you do not know how to ask the right question, you discover nothing. If you do not know how to ask the right question, you discover nothing. That person asks the right question. No AI has ever asked the right question. They've given good answers, sometimes give the right answer even, but they can't ask questions. And that's the sign of intelligence. So thank you for the intelligent question. Y'all have a good one.